Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, bringing you guys Boruto episode 27. So, yeah, I guess let's just jump right in and talk about last episode, because I have no new channel updates for you guys. Aside from the fact that I started Fairy Tail on my channel, but I started the final season, which kind of stinks. I don't like starting so far in, but I've already seen the rest, so nothing I can do, and I really wanted to see the final season, and I wanted to watch it with you guys. That's all I'll say about that, because most of you probably are just here for Boruto. Um, so last episode was definitely a build-up episode again. We're still in the uh village hidden in the mist. Is that its actual name right now? I know it used to be called like the Blood Mist Village. I'm not sure if its full name is what I just said a second ago. But we're in like the Mist Village, and there is a whole dealio with some underground people that seem to want to revert back to the Blood Mist portion of their village. I guess they miss the intense graduation exams and stuff. I'm not sure what they entirely want. They seem to just want to regress back into that kind of state. And there's some interesting development with Kagura, I think his name was, the mist guy that is giving the tour to Boruto and the others. He he has some interesting eye movements and um what's it called? Like body language that to me, I personally get the feeling that he's either hiding a tragic past. I've said this in my last video. Hiding a tragic past that makes him so like insecure about becoming the next Mizukage, I believe it's called there, or he is working for the bad guys. One of the big reasons why I think he's working for the bad guys and he might be the leader of the bad guys is because the one bad guy was like, okay, so what's your next move, Kagura, or something like that, something along those lines. He specifically pointed out Kagura, which is just a little bit strange when you're running an underground kind of operation like this. You'd think you'd be trying to overthrow the Mizukage, but he's more focused on wondering what's next for Kagura. So, I don't know, maybe the guy was just in the same class as Kagura, so he sees him as sort of like a rival, and that's why. But part of it makes me think like Kagura is the real boss behind the scenes, or he just has a really tragic past. There's more to Kagura, I feel, but I wonder if we're going to find out more about that in this episode, or if we're going to find out more at all. I might be completely wrong. But I think we are up for some good action this episode, because we have Denki, who was captured by the bad guys, and a ransom message sent to Boruto saying that Boruto needs to come to the docks and rescue his friend. So hopefully we see some fighting. I guess there could just be some nice little hostage exchange sort of thing going on, where Boruto goes with him and Denki gets set free, and there might not be any fighting. This could all end peacefully, but I don't know. I guess we will find out. So let's watch the episode, guys. Alright, so like usual, down in the description there's a Vimeo link. You're gonna click that, watch the reaction, come back here, and you can see my thoughts, ideas, predictions, all that good stuff. So go ahead and click that Vimeo link right now, guys. We'll keep this nice and short. Go ahead and click it right now. Alright, I don't want to watch preview. No preview! Alrighty, guys, so that is the end of Boruto episode 27. That's a pretty good episode. We learned about Kagura, which is good. I want to point out something in the ending I noticed, the new ending that we got, was we had a leaf that was falling down and changing colors, and right at the end of it changing through the color cycles, it went to like a dead looking black, and then it lit back up in the same color as Kagura's eyes. And I wonder if that's like a little subtle thing of like where, like, ever since he hurt his friend when they were younger, he's been essentially like dead inside, like doesn't have any friends, not really having fun, and all that stuff. But now that he's met Boruto and the others and is having fun again, it's like rekindled his life, and that's why it lit back up with the colors of his like eyes and like the paint on his face. It was an interesting thing I noticed in the outro, so that could just be me making something out of nothing, but it seemed pretty cool. But we had the whole situation with Denki being taken. I took it a lot more serious in the last episode, but this episode I didn't take it as serious because I think it was mainly because of the guy they sent. That one, like, goofy guy that, you know, got his butt kicked but still somehow came back super confident. I wasn't really feeling his whole, like, obviously, we weren't meant to be scared of him. Like, they didn't intend for that. But it kind of took me out of the moment where, like, I didn't even care that Dinky was captured anymore because this guy's just so much talk that it didn't intimidate me at all. And then, obviously, like, he had his pants cut, so like his pants fell down and everything, so they just made a joke out of him. But we do know that there's some more bad guys behind the scenes that are more evil. We could probably just wrap these guys up that we saw this episode as cannon fodder. But it's going to be interesting when we actually get into the real fighting, because it seems like that's coming. We have the one guy at the end with his whole like scales showing up, which remind me, I don't know, is that a Blood Mist Village thing, or does that mean he's in some way related to the, what's his name? Was it like Kiname? No. Maybe? I can't remember his name. The fish guy that was a seven swordsman that joined the Akatsuki in the Naruto series. He had those scales on his face, but we've seen other people from the Mist and they don't have scales like that. So is he somehow related to him, or are they part of the same like tribe kind of thing? It's interesting. I don't know. I don't really know what those scales signify, besides the fact that we know about the guy from the Akatsuki who had chakra on the level of a tailed beast, and he was pretty badass. So I don't know if he's like part of a special race of people, or if it's just like a family trait, if it's a Kekkei Genkai, if it's, I don't know. Maybe we'll learn more about that kind of stuff with him. That'd be pretty cool. I've always wondered about the guy from the Akatsuki, because they never really went. They went into his past, but they never really said like what he is, because he's like a friggin' shark man thing, and there's not. Unless I'm forgetting, there's not a lot of, like, demi-human kind of things in Naruto. I don't believe. He's the only one that I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, there's like there's the people from the Mount, starts with an M, the frog people, but they're not really people. They're just frogs that can talk. So I don't know. I hope we learn more about that. That'd be pretty cool. I think that would make this arc a lot more interesting for like it feels like a side arc, but with that kind of information coming to light, I could see that being like making this side arc a lot more interesting to me. But we learn more about Kagura. Apparently he is I can't remember his name. Started with a T. The previous not the previous, but one of the Mizukages in the past. I believe he was he the shorter one that we saw in Naruto that was being manipulated by Madara, or was it the person pretending to be Madara? I can't remember. But I believe that might be who they were talking about, and apparently he is... I don't remember much about him, but they did touch base on how evil he was, and ow, I just punched my desk. Ooh, that hurt. Oh, sorry about that. You probably heard that, but I was waving my hands around and just kind of like went down and hit it. They touch base with how he killed Iwabe's grandfather, and it seems like he had like deep ties to the Blood Mist Village. Obviously, he was a Mizukage at the time, so he allowed this stuff to happen. I guess that also means that he wasn't the one that abolished it, because didn't what was it? Was it the... Wow, I remembered his name one other episode and now I can't think of it. Zabuza. Wasn't he the reason the whole Blood Mist thing ended, because he killed his entire class? I take it that that Mizukage wasn't the one that ended it, because I feel like you'd have a better name for yourself if you were the one that ended those kind of like trials and stuff. But maybe those trials aren't the only thing that made the Blood Mist Village the Blood Mist Village. I don't know. I don't really know entirely about all that stuff, but it's interesting nonetheless. Hopefully we get some good fighting with this new bad guy. There was also... We had like the jokester pansy group of bad guys, and then they went back to the hideout, and we saw in that little area there was a bunch of other people too. There was the one leader guy walking around, but he had that like red suit on. Not really suit, but outfit, and there was also a bunch of other people around that were wearing the same red outfit, so they might be stronger too, so it might be a bunch of stronger people. So that's going to be interesting. It'd be cool to see Kagura unleash, because we now know that he kind of gets a bloodlust when he pulls his sword out. So he's always used it, or he's always talked about using it while sparring with friends and stuff, but what's going to happen when he uses it against enemies of his village? Is he gonna let the bloodlust consume him and just do work? That's gonna be interesting. Is Boruto gonna get a lot of light in the fights, or is it mostly gonna be around Kagura, because Kagura was a character that was built up for this arc, and he's the one that, like, kind of needs to overcome, it seems like, and Boruto is just a supporting character to that in this arc, it seems like, so the shine might be mostly on Kagura. I'm sure we'll definitely see Boruto do some fun stuff, some cool stuff, and yeah. So I mentioned it during the episode, but I'll elaborate a little bit. It has nothing to do with the episode, but I think I've talked just about most of what I have to say about the episode. But the thing that doesn't have anything to do with the episode really is Mitsuki. I was mentioning during the episode that every now and then when I see Mitsuki, I remember that he's working for Orochimaru, which Orochimaru isn't necessarily evil anymore, at least as evil as he used to be. But he doesn't have entirely good intentions. We know that Mitsuki has he wanted to just kill the class rep in that arc. and we know there's just some like dark parts about Mitsuki, and he's more or less just following Boruto around. But I wonder when they're gonna elaborate on his story, like his they've touched some like slight bases on his past, but we don't know why Orochimaru sent. I believe Orochimaru would have sent him there, unless it was Mitsuki's choice and Orochimaru was just like, yeah, sure, go do what you want. But I feel like Orochimaru probably sent him there. For what reason is he there, and does Orochimaru have any evil plans that are gonna like come to light in the future that include Mitsuki? Is Mitsuki gonna, if that is the case, is Mitsuki gonna betray Orochimaru because he is starting to really like Boruto and all that? I don't know. That was just kind of like a side thing that popped into my head during this episode, but I watched the intro. I guess the last thing I'll talk about is I watched the intro and I watched the outro. I'm always a little hesitant on that stuff, even though I was told there's no spoilers. There is one thing I noticed. I think Boruto did a little bit of wind style, it looked like. When that guy was holding him, he did like a little thing, and you saw like a little bit of wind, and then for some reason the guy let go. I don't know what it was. I don't know why that little bit of wind made the guy let go, but that's hinting that Boruto's chakra nature is wind. And in the intro, it almost looked like he was doing lightning. So I don't know if Boruto is gonna get an early dual chakra nature, because we know that some can do more than one element. But that's usually like some serious training, so seeing that in this opening is kind of weird. The other thing is what's it called? Mitsuki can do lightning, and I believe he was in that scene, so maybe I mistook Mitsuki's lightning for Boruto? I don't know. That'd be crazy if Boruto's still in the academy and he gets a dual chakra nature, because we had Naruto pretty old. Like, when did Naruto learn about the chakra natures? I guess Sasuke learned about it during the Chunin exams. He learned how to do the Chidori. But then I think Naruto didn't learn how to do the wind stuff until he had already developed the Rasengan. He was already in in Shippuden, like when he was older, I believe it was. And that was when he developed his Rasen Shuriken, I believe it was called. He implemented wind style into that. So he was pretty old. So I guess the ages do vary, because Sasuke got it when he was so young, and even Sasuke, I guess did Sasuke have a dual nature too? Because he did the fireball too when he was really young. So I guess I've always incorporated, because we saw it through Naruto, that the chakra natures were something you picked up when you're older, but that's probably not the case. It was probably just Naruto picking it up later, and I somehow associated that with everybody picking it up later for some reason. But interesting. So I wonder if we're gonna see Boruto with some dual chakra nature, or if I was just wrong in that intro and it wasn't him doing lightning. Or maybe I'm wrong and it wasn't actually wind style that he just did right here in the episode. I don't know. We're going to learn more about this stuff in the future, though. I think I'm going to call it there, guys. I don't really have much else to say about this episode. Seems like we're going to get into some real fights soon, maybe. Hopefully in the next episode we get some good old fights, since this one was I was hoping for some really good fights in this one, and there was some fighting, but I wouldn't really consider that really good. It was more goofy. And all that, but we got some really good backstory. We got some really good character development on Kagura. So it was a good episode, just not focused on where I thought it was going to be focused. But I am looking forward to the next one. Hopefully, we get some good fights, some good stuff, And yeah, so I will see you guys in the next one, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and have a good one. Bye.